Hi, my loves. How are we doing? All right, I'm coming in with the general read, but this reading feels like the topic of this feels about the word distractions, okay? So I just really want to see what's going on. Per usual, if this doesn't apply to you, sit right with you. You don't want to hear what I have to say. That is okay. I will be back some other time. But I do want to look at that word distractions. There's something... Maybe you do feel like, a little bit distracted recently. Like maybe you've been focused on something for a long time and now all of a sudden it's like squirrel, wow. Queen of Swords and Seven of Swords in reverse. This is about claiming your sovereignty right back, standing in your power, literally with that Queen of Swords. This is kind of a cut the type of reading. This is not a cutesy, Eight of Cups. This is about walking away, claiming your power again. But, I always say Eight of Cups. Yes, it's about walking away from things that no longer serves us. My nose all of a sudden started itching. So sign, your nose could be very itchy right now. Anyways, Eight of Cups about walking away, but sometimes about walking away from things we don't want to walk away from. Nah, like I said, this doesn't feel cutesy anymore. Queen of Swords, she's very cutthroat. And I give, Queen of Swords gets a lot of harshness because, she can be a cold bitch, but she knows her worth. Gender doesn't matter when I say that. And that's kind of what's happening with this collective. And with that Seven of Swords in reverse, it's like nothing's getting past you anymore from here on out. And I actually told a client this today, the universe will repeat the same lessons to you until you finally get it. It's one thing to actually, there is something about, internally or in your head, in your frontal lobe, okay, I need to set boundaries. I'm no longer accepting this anymore. I know this is manipulation. I know this is love bombing, whatever the case is. It's going to be different when you're actually going to be face to face with those lessons. And I feel like during this eclipse season specifically, you may be faced with certain lessons. You're going to be put to work when it comes to your sovereignty. Are you really being serious about not taking something from the past back? Are you not going to fall back to past behaviors? You're going to be faced again with, lessons from the past, whether it is, again, certain situations, certain people, old flames, whatever the case is going to be resurfacing. I'm also hearing more with the swords energy as something to do with a lot of, to do with the mind, a shift within your mindsets. Like, again, there's a reason I brought up in your head, okay, that's manipulation. That's this. That's not okay. I shouldn't allow this. I'm never going to. It's all about seeing clearly on certain things. And it's more about things coming up to the surface for you. So you're ready to walk away from these things. Again, but it's, more of your mind. In your head, these things are wrong. But again, actually being face to face with those lessons, a different thing. And are you ready to truly claim your sovereignty? And the life you had, seriously, a month ago doesn't exist from here on out. But again, this collective, that. True transformations are taking place right now. Yeah, Four of Cups right here. And then the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Cut that crap off. I'm kind of hearing that now we're bringing back emotions. Now there's water energy coming into this. And again, you could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, doesn't have to be. But again, this Libra season that is coming up is going to be very significant to you. I'm hearing those things from your past. Old mindsets is mainly what I'm getting out of this reading, should not impress you anymore. And that's where I'm saying things are going to be resurfacing back. People or things are going to offer their cup towards you and you should be like, no. It's like, and again, this is kind of, I'm being dead serious. It should not impress you. Let me see what else is going on. Five of Swords, heavy air energy is coming out of this. And it's all about leaving behind truly certain people. And maybe that is a mind ache that you kind of in a way are going through. Again, it's one thing to know, okay, certain behaviors are not okay. The way I used to think about certain situations or people a certain way. But again, to actually leave them behind is a different avenue. Why are you scared with that Five of Swords to leave them behind in a funny way? Ten of Swords, because it's a done deal. And again, it's like I do feel like this collective, you are ready, but there is a nervousness. Again, it's one thing to say, I need to let them go versus no, it's really done. This is about claiming your sovereignty, knowing your worth. There's a little warrior in you because I love this because you see how many swords are in her back, but she is still not giving up. And that's kind of what I'm seeing out of this collective is like, no matter how many swords you got in your back, you're you're thugging it out. You're toughing it out. You are a tough cookie. There is something about, specifically for this collective, you could literally have a high pain tolerance. You could be somebody at the Empress. You could be somebody with a lot of tattoos, like needles don't really scare you, like, or even if you know, if you're dealing with like an injury, like naturally it just doesn't phase you like normal. Like there is something specifically I'm hearing, you could have a high pain tolerance. So I'm going to be honest, this next couple months could be a lonely time period for this collective, but you're ready for it because you're not allowing the manipulation. You're not allowing the deceit to walk all over you. You're truly in your Empress energy. You're coming into your Empress energy. You're allowing things to attract into your life. But I'm also hearing what you know, see, because that's what I'm saying, like, literally, like, I feel like you're going to be leaving maybe certain people behind or a certain mindset, including that goes along with those people. Maybe there is something like, for example, you've been accustomed to, well, that's love or that's friendship or that's just how things are. And you're finally standing in your sovereignty and being like, no, that's actually not okay. Society has taught me to believe that is okay. You know, my childhood has taught me to believe that, but that behavior is not okay and I deserve better. And it's kind of like with this card going back, how much more disrespect are you going to tolerate before you're done? You're not supposed to tolerate the disrespect. This is not a message of how many more knives in your back till you can finally say done. No, you should be done. It's kind of, this reading should be a reminder of you are done. This is not a question of, again, it's not cutesy, of how many more knives in your back do you have to know. That should be done. Nothing should get past you from here on out. Four of Swords, and then the Ten of Wands. Let it go. One second. This is truly a test of moving forward and never looking back again. You do have a tendency, again, when I brought up like the disrespect, how much more disrespect are you going to take? You are going to be tested with that. And I feel like for this collective too, that's what I'm saying. It could be a very lonely period. You have a tendency, there's heavy air energy coming out of this reading. But anyways, like I say, you have a tendency of maybe going into nostalgia or staying up late at night and thinking of every horrible thing that's ever happened to you or every, horrible thing that was ever said to you. They're telling you to let it go. You are truly moving forward. Take the knowledge that you've learned from the past and move forward. This was not meant for you to go backwards and think of, again, every horrible thing that's ever happened to you. It's kind of like that. It's done. War is over. You're rising above this. You're walking away. You're no longer going. There's a lot going on. You're not going to be impressed anymore. So there's no reason from now to look backwards. I'll never forget the way they dumped me. I'll never forget the way they abandoned me. Okay, they did what they did. Now time to move forward. You're not going to allow that disrespect to happen again. And that's that. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this reading. It's kind of, with all this air energy, it's very cutthroat. It's very straightforward. Heavy air. Nine of Swords. And then the Eight of Swords in reverse. That's what I'm saying. I feel like this collective, you're getting out of something. You're getting out of a funk. I mean, I brought up injury or high pain tolerance. Maybe you got over literally a pain and maybe you're in recovery process. I'm hearing for some of you, I'm hearing you could have just gone out of surgery of some form. And I'm hearing rest because things are about to get busy for you. I feel like there is something about, again, you could be going through, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. That's where I'm saying you're going to have old flames, old things coming back after your recovery process to test you. Nothing's going to get past you. Remember that. Yeah, the Hierophant. This is guided all right back towards you. Are you serious about your journey? Are you serious about expanding new opportunities, new people? Are you serious? And if you're not, okay, then you haven't evolutionized that much. If you're truly serious about claiming back, the Hermit, I feel like you're coming out of a Hermit phase. One more. Page of Cups. This is all about brand new energy. Are you ready? Are you serious?